Luna here, and this week's YouTube Pagan Challenge letter is H. The H that I decided to use for this video is healing. Now I'm going to go on a different tangent about healing than most people will. Instead of different types of healing, I'm going to discuss about my healing and how to find a balance. Now, most of you know that I suffer from severe mental illness. I have some new subscribers, so welcome! But for those who are new and don't know, I have schizoaffective disorder. Schizoaffective disorder is a combination of schizophrenia and a mood disorder. I have bipolar 1. I have schizophrenia, bipolar 1, and then on top of that I have PTSD due to some childhood trauma and abuse that I underwent, and anxiety due to the PTSD. So it's just this vicious circle of brain fail. Now, when it comes to healing, I've accepted the fact that I'm not going to be cured. There is something wrong with the chemistry in my brain, and it's going to be like that for a very, very long time. It's not going to go away. I've had these issues since I started having hallucinations when I was 8. I would just ignore them. And right now I'm going through therapy, and I've gone through therapy since I was 14. And I'm currently, I'll be 32 in 2 months. Actually, like a month and a half, June 2nd, I'll be 32, and I've been going to therapy since I was 14. When it comes to healing, from my personal experience, I am not a doctor, I am not a healer, I am a regular person with regular problems, sometimes not so regular, but I'm just going to share my experience within healing. If you would like to take my advice on it, more power to you, but if you take my advice and it doesn't work out for you, disclaimer is, I am not a professional. When it comes to healing, I am currently trying to find a balance. Now, most people think, oh, well, you just need your faith, or oh, you just need to go to the doctor. And in reality, those things do work. However, from my experience, they don't work alone. And from my experience, going to the extreme in either way doesn't help either. When I was diagnosed with schizophrenia, and I went into the hospital and had to be put on medication and everything, my goal was to not use medication. I've had friends and family shame me for using medication. So I know deep in their heart they thought they were being helpful, but they're not. Some people do need medication, and it's okay to need medication. Shaming them makes their symptoms worse, because then they're not taking the medication they need. And one of those shaming is, oh, well, now you have an addiction to this medication. This is going to be a lifelong addiction. You're never going to get cured. And I hadn't accepted the fact that I probably never would be cured. Not yet. And that was a very terrifying thought. So one of my goals was to not be on medication. So I would get on my medication to appease my doctors, and then I'd slowly wean myself off and use my faith to deal with my symptoms. In some cases, it worked. When I hallucinate, and I have all kinds of hallucinations, auditory, olfactory, visual. So I can see, I can hear, I can smell, I can taste, I can feel things and people, places, and things that aren't even there. And they will feel real. And one of the ways that I would deal with it was to chant. Chanting helped me stay calm and helped me work through my symptoms. However, chanting could only do so much. Crystals could only do so much. Love, light, and prayer could only do so much. It wasn't a fix-all. When I would just use doctor's orders, I felt empty because I felt I was missing something. Spirituality, religion, my faith is a part of me. So just using doctor's orders, just using the medication as being told, wasn't helping me either. It was helping me physically. It was helping keep the symptoms away. But I still felt empty. I still felt like something was missing, which would stress my body out and make symptoms worse. And then I'd have to change the medication. So it was just a vicious cycle of things that this wasn't working, so I tried this, and this wasn't working, so I tried this, and it was just over and over again. And right now, I'm trying to find a balance. I believe both areas work. I believe New Age spiritualism, healing practices work. I believe medicine works. I believe that they work when they work together. And the only way that they will work together is by finding a balance. The way that I'm working these out is a lot of journaling. I do a lot of shadow work through journaling. And therapy, actual therapy with a psychiatrist and with a psychologist, is just really a fancy form of shadow work. You're facing situations and facing memories and facing decisions that you don't want to face but need to work through to better yourself. So I find that when I keep my intention of healing, it gives me the placebo effect. It sends like how I discussed it in the faith video. It gives my brain the message that this is going to work. So I get that nice little balance of my intentions and healing with on top of the medication that I'm on. Does it always work? No. I'm actually having some difficulty right now with some medications that I'm on. But does it work most of the time? Yes, which is a really big deal. Anyway, when it comes to healing, you need to find a balance. My mom suffers from mental illness as well, and she's a pastor and very devout, and she tried to only have Jesus heal her, and she ended up hospitalized and in a state of just, I was worried for my mom because she had let herself go and had hoped for Jesus to heal her. And sometimes the way the messages that you're getting for healing could be Western medicine. It's not, healing doesn't involve just miracles. Healing involves science. And sometimes the message is, go through therapy. Try this new medication out. Sometimes a doctor is put in your path. Like, I could be praying for healing and have no idea where to go, and then suddenly a new doctor is put in my path. That's something new to try. I wasn't planning on it, but it was put in my path. And I see that as a spiritual message as well. So when it comes to healing, try and find a balance. That's my message. Anyway, I hope you guys have a great day. Brightest blessings.